You. Give me all your money.
What are you doing?
I'm mugging you!
With that stance?
What? What are you talking about? Just give me your money, old man!
With a poor stance, you are unbalanced and you can be easily knocked over.
I always have, like, sort of imaginations in my head of how cool it would be if something like this happened to me and I was able to react in a way somewhat like this. Recognizing not first when this person's showing them the knife, not recognizing the knife, recognizing the human behind the knife, and recognizing that there's a lot of really crummy things that definitely happened to get this human to the point where they're using intense violence to try and probably survive. We're doing it again.
Back. Welcome back. That was a really good song, just for you. To welcome you back to another episode of
Learn with us.
where we take videos that are worth your time
And we learn from them with you.
with you.
We're doing one of our favorite things to do again. We're going to react to another Avatar clip.
This one's from an episode called The Tales of Bossing Say.
Background. We're doing a reaction on Iroh again, which is my favorite character. And this was the last episode recorded of the first voice actor of Iroh before he died. His name was Mako.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
But yeah, this episode was a really artistic take on an episode because it does a bunch of short stories for each character and their time in this one city called Ba Sing Se.
And they were all written by different people too.
Oh,
which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one is the tale of Iroh.
It is usually best to admit mistakes when they occur, and to seek to restore honor.
When I'm through with you kids, the window won't be the only thing that's broken!
But not this time. Run!
Lovely. No, I mean there you get the classic Iroh lesson where it's usually best to admit things when they happen.
Yes.
And restore honor, so that it's not going to be carried in your mind the whole time. But of course, then you get the lightheartedness of Iroh, which is
yes.
if you're really in a situation where it's not a good idea, book it.
yeah. I feel like he's someone who lives by principle in this show. Always lives by principle, but he also has something that's even greater than that, of just this constant state of being. More than what he says, it's sort of how he moves about life in the show that really attracts me to him. He has, like you said, this lightheartedness mixed with this intense amount of wisdom and knowledge and principle. But
well, I like the idea of living one of my favorite rap artists, the guy KRS-One.
Oh yeah,
has this idea, or in a rap he says, in my dream society, we would live by principle, not by law.
Oh.
Because the whole idea of living by principle is you have this general thing that you always have as what you're shooting towards, but you're applying that to every situation. Like in this case, you know, if it was a law that said you must always admit your faults and restore honor, then you would sit there and you might have gotten that guy so angry that he just destroyed you, broke all your bones.
Yeah.
But you're living by principle of, yes, I want to restore my honor. This person's really mad. I'm going to run away right now and come back later. And it's just that principle that's guiding you rather than this specific set of rules.
Oh, that's nice.
And that's how Iroh lives.
Dang,
I feel like.
dang. That is so true. Yeah.
You. Give me all your money.
What are you doing?
I'm mugging you!
With that stance?
What? What are you talking about? Just give me your money, old man!
With a poor stance, you are unbalanced and you can be easily knocked over.
I always have like sort of imaginations in my head of how cool it would be if something like this happened to me and I was able to react in a way somewhat like this. Like, it would not ever happen in real life, but it would be so
Like
cool.
someone pulls a knife on you and you're like, dude, what?
Yeah, no, but just almost be able to psychoanalyze, like, oh, well, why did you get here? Like, why are you here doing this right now? And I feel like that's Iroh's taking a sort of roundabout way to get there. Recognizing not first when this person's showing them the knife, not recognizing the knife, recognizing the human behind the knife, and recognizing that there's a lot of really crummy things that definitely happened to get this human to the point where they're using intense violence to try and probably survive.
That definitely goes to talk about the way we treat criminals, people who break laws, like why we don't instead try to uplift the being that they are.
It's where we're placing blame.
Rather than put them in a cage.
Yes.
And be like,
yes.
this will teach you. It's like,
right.
It's the same parenting tactic as like punishing your kid really hard when they do something wrong, rather than saying, no, that was wrong, we need to do this differently, and having them understand that was wrong and that there are different ways to handle it.
And then give them the tools to do that a different way.
Yes.
Because we're not giving prisoners the tools to do things in different ways because they're being sent back out into the world with
nothing.
Probably very little.
And now they can't even get a job because they have
precisely.
a prison sentence.
And then that's when people become like institutionalized in the system because it's easier to be in jail than it is to be in the real world, which is just
oh my god,
so messed up that our society's okay with that.
Let's see how Iroh would handle it.
Let's see how Iroh would handle it.
With a solid stance, you are a much more serious threat. Much better. But to tell you the truth, you do not look like the criminal type.
I know. I'm just confused.
Dude.
Cool.
He takes someone who every other person would view as an enemy. And he's making this person his friend. This is someone who you're viewing that you could easily view as an enemy. That's someone who you're going to have a lot of immediate hate for. And if you grow a lot as a person, you might find love for that person. But Iroh is immediately, from the get-go, knife is pointed at him. He's not viewing this person as an enemy. He's viewing them through the stance of, oh, I recognize your humanity, and I am showing you this actual love through, a sort of roundabout teaching.
I wonder how many criminals you could, if you said you don't look like a criminal to me, would then be opened up to the idea, because I feel like people also live up to their expectations.
Absolutely.
Often. And when you're putting someone in a certain box as something, they're going to react that way, and you're going to treat them that way. Whereas if you see them humanity first, in a loving way, maybe that would make them act up to the way that you're living. It reminds me of a song by Kendrick Lamar, Duckworth. Is that the one?
Duckworth. Yeah.
Where it's like this whole backstory of one of the best rappers to date, Kendrick Lamar. All right, so Kendrick Lamar's dad worked at a
Kentucky Fried
Chicken. And then this other guy who was living on the streets trying to figure out how to make it would come into that Kentucky Fried Chicken to get food.
Yes.
And his dad would always put extra food into his thing because he saw that this guy looked hungry and was in need. And of course, this man who was living on the streets was super thankful for that.
Yeah.
Because he was shown that humility and compassion. That same guy came back to rob the Kentucky Fried Chicken later in life at gunpoint, saw Kendrick's dad working there, and decided not to shoot, or
Not to kill him,
not
yeah.
to kill him when he could have.
And if he had killed him, then of course Kendrick Lamar's dad would have died, and this guy would have gone to prison, probably for life. And Kendrick Lamar makes this song because that person that kept going to the Kentucky Fried Chicken ended up being his producer. Like the person who put him onto rap and allowed him to build this platform.
The guy who started Kendrick Lamar's rap career was the guy who his dad showed humility to so that guy didn't kill his dad.
Oh my goodness!
And that made Kendrick be able to come to life on the earth.
Oh my gosh. And continue to have a father. Crazy. Just that small act, because it all filters back to those small acts of kindness. And recognizing the person's humanity and showing them love over this divisiveness that we have so much in our society. Like, how much could be solved if we just recognized our own humanity and each other's humanity and like worked from a place of love as often as we could. Because it seems like Iroh is so often working from a place of love.
Let's see where it takes this conversation.
I'm just confused. So you really think I could be a good masseur?
Of course.
This is so great. No one has ever believed in me.
While it is always best to believe in oneself, a little help from others can be a great blessing.
Get your tissues, kids. This is about to get a little sad.
Happy birthday, my son. If only I could have helped you. Leaves from the vine, falling so slow, like fragile, tiny shells drifting in the foam. Little soldier boy, come marching home. Brave soldier boy comes marching home.
Dude, I had chills that whole time.
Me too. Me too. That was.
My God.
There's a lot of videos on YouTube of people like crying to this scene.
Yeah.
And I know why. I know why. It's not even fake. It's just it's so raw. It's like when he says, "I wish I could have helped you." It makes you think like maybe that's his motivation for doing all the great things he does in the show. Is he couldn't help his son in some way. His son might have done something irrational, and he's helping all of these people who are, I guess, misguided, because I feel like that's a common theme in this episode, is that he's helping all these younger people, he's helping this criminal, and maybe that's representative of that might have happened with his son, that his son was young and he just didn't have a clear guidance, and that might have led to his death or something, and now he's committing his whole life.
I mean, in general, I think it's the idea that, like, the loss of what you love shows you what love really is. And then enables you to live from a place of love.
Oh my gosh. Beautiful thing that sort of aligns with this is the story of Wim Hof, someone who we just did a reaction on maybe like last week or something like that. And he was married, happily married. His wife had schizophrenia. She killed herself in 1995. And now you hear the way that he talks about what he does. He, in his breathing technique, he's trying to help people with all mental disorders or disorders. That is his main goal, is trying to have people be able to take control over their minds and not have their minds send them to dark places, like where his wife ended up. And that's I feel like when he talks, you can just feel that that's the root of why he does it, is because he's known what it's like so intensely. Like, you hear of how many people have something tragic happen to them or someone in their life, and then their whole lives are devoted to that thing. And it's almost this beautiful testament to that person's life that ended tragically, that this is now that's your path, is to make sure that that doesn't have to happen to other people. I think that's such a beautiful thing.
And just the poetic beauty of this episode, then ending with it in honor of Mako, whose last episode this was, the voice actor.
Yeah.
And it's all about that idea of acting based on someone's death. And it's like, what if then you took some of that inspiration with you, acted a bit more like Iroh for...
That's my goal.
Yeah.
Just to act a bit more like Iroh.
Yeah.
At any point in my life.
It's a good goal.
It would be a fun one to be able to do at some point, is just act like Iroh.
Oh my gosh. Beautiful. What a piece of art.
Seriously, what a piece of art. Well, folks, this is our second go at Avatar reactions, and we want to do more. So, we hope you liked it.
If you got any scenes that you'd like to see us react to, let us know. That'd be
yeah.
rad.
That would be sick if people sent like Avatar scenes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like your favorite Avatar scene. Hit us up. That would be sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, comment, like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff.
All right. Much love, folks.
Much
All
love.
the best.